What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about this new team, new war offense team called Dark Hunters.
Who?
No, that is not a joke. That is the name of this team. It's literally like they took this team, like they took the idea to like some teenager edgelord and said, hey, come up with a name for this team, and they came up with Dark Hunters. It does not exist in comics. There is someone called the Dark Hunter, but there is no Dark Hunters team. There are 4 characters for the team. Like I'm gonna basically call this team Midnight Suns, because it is a Midnight Suns team of Ghost Rider, Elsa, Morbius, and Brother Voodoo. Mordo is a slot in 5th. They gave him a stat boost with this team, but Mordo does not have the Dark Hunters tag, so this is totally setting up for a Blade Legendary or something down the road to fill in this team. But yeah, it's pretty much got the members of Midnight Suns, so I'm calling it Midnight Suns. Sorry, Scopely. Yeah, Dark Hunters is just a terrible name. Anyways, this team is tailor-made to counter heroes for hire in war. There is a lot of negative effects that Morbius inflicts to city heroes, and if you may have noticed at the beginning of the fight, you may have seen that he puts blind on the entire enemy team if there are at least 3 other Dark Hunter allies with him, or Midnight Sun allies with him. He will apply blind to all enemy city heroes. He also gains 300% boost in his focus against city hero targets with his ultimate if he has 3 or more Dark Hunter allies present. Yeah, so he's pretty much made to counter city heroes. It does leave some questions about how this team will function when it's not fighting city heroes. That means, like, they say that this will not work against Young Avengers. I'll be the judge of that. We've got theory crafting to do. We've got testing to do. You know we will be testing this endlessly on the playtest server. We will see what this team can do. But I've already come up with some ideas of some teams and characters I'm going to plug together with these guys to see if maybe I can get some kind of team that's going to counter Young Avengers, because they're now saying Young Avengers is going to be your new Meta War defense team. They're now taking Heroes for Hire down a notch by introducing this team. They also said that this will punch across against Heroes for Hire. They're watching the footage and how they did not play this properly. Like, for instance, the ultimate on Morbius will put Disrupted on the primary target. He did it over on the far side away from Luke. He should have put Disrupted on Luke. He didn't do it. So I think you can do some very solid punch-ups against this kind of team with the Midnight Suns. We'll see how that all goes, but yeah, we're going to be diving into all of that today in today's embargo footage, and just kind of talk about the stat kits and a little bit of the boost that a couple of characters here got with Elsa, Ghost Rider, and Mordo. We're going to talk about all of that in today's video. So if you guys do enjoy this video, or you do find it helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. There you go. Watching Morbius just kind of apply trauma and heal block there. Let's dive right into the stat notes and the kit reworks for some characters. So we're going to start off here with Morbius. Morbius is going to be a villain city mystic controller with that Dark Hunter tag. His basic is called Sanguine Slash, attacks the primary target for 200% damage, steals 10% health from the primary target, redistributes to himself, bypasses heal block, and will apply 2 bleed in war offense. They said that the bleed and the heal steal and the health steal will also be part of his striker ISO bonus if that's what you want to do. So they do recommend a striker ISO bonus because of this. His special is called Vampiric Spread, a 3/3 energy oh my gosh. His special is called Vampiric Spread, a 3/3 energy cost, attacks the primary and adjacent targets with 250% damage, and 3 bleed to the primary and second targets as well. Then you get down to his ultimate, and this is where you really start to see a lot of Omega Red in his kit. 5/7 energy cost on the ultimate ability called Nocturnal Frenzy. Attack the primary target, 450% damage, flips defense up, this was a typo. It flips defense up into defense down and deflect. Chain to 4 adjacent targets for 310% damage. Flip defense up and deflect as well. On war offense, if his character has 3 Dark Hunter allies, apply trauma, heal block, and disrupted for 2 turns to hero city primary targets, and apply trauma and heal block for 2 turns to all city hero secondary targets. Counters break this chain, but in war offense, this cannot be blocked or countered. And then his passive is called the Living Vampire. Gain 30% piercing, 20% drain for self and Dark Hunter allies. And then on war offense, if this character has 3 or more Dark Hunter allies, apply blind to the 4 highest damage city hero enemies. And if this character has 4 or more city hero enemies, gain 300% bonus focus. 30% boosted damage for himself and Dark Hunter allies. So some very nice stuff here. A lot of piercing with him. His damage stat is actually very impressive. It is 13th highest in the game. I'll be throwing up a stat comparison here in a little bit. 13th best damage in the game. He gains 30% piercing, and in War Offense, he's then going to get another 30% damage for himself and Dark Hunter allies. That 30% boost in damage does not count into his passive or into his character stats. So while he has 13th ranked, he will get another 30% boost on top of that is not calculated into rankings. Very, very good there. That boost in focus is great for taking down these heroes for higher teams, because that charge boost gives him like 300% boosted resistance. He now gets his 300% bonus focus. He has one of the best focus stats in the game as well. So he is definitely going to really be applying those negative effects, flipping that defense up and the defense down, flipping all those deflects. That's huge. And that is not tied to just city heroes. So if you're running into any team that's got defense up and deflects, he will chain down the line, flip those, no problem at all. But if you're not facing against city heroes, this is where you may want to have that skirmisher ISO on him for that boost and focus. Moving on to Dr. Voodoo. His basic is called Staff Blast. Sorry, I should mention he's a hero, global support, mystic, and dark hunter. His basic is Staff Blast. Transfers 1 death proof from the primary target to himself, attacks the primary target for 300% damage, and heals self and all dark hunter allies by 8% of his character's max health. This will not trigger on his ISO attack, by the way, so there will not be healing according to the developers. There will be no healing on his ISO attacks here. We'll see once the game code goes live if that holds true. But right now, it looks like Striker is probably not going to be an ideal thing for him because of this healing is not part of the ISO bonus attack. His special is called Doctor's Orders. It's a 3/3 energy cost, applies ability block and defense down to the primary target, and applies defense down to adjacent targets. Mind control 2 adjacent enemies to attack the primary target. Controlled enemies gain 30% bonus damage for this attack. Bury yourself and all Dark Hunter allies by 30% of this character's max health, and then barrier adjacent non-Dark Hunter allies by 20% of this character's max health. And then on War Offense, this attack cannot be blocked. His ultimate is called Soul Manipulation, a 4/8 energy cost. Steal 20% health from all enemies and redistribute 150% health stolen to all Dark Hunter allies. This bypasses heal block, clear all negative effects from self and all Dark Hunters, and on War Offense, apply immunity to all Mystic allies. This will ignore death proof. So we've had this thing before where the health steal effects we're now not ignoring the death proof. This is one of them that will be ignoring death proof. So it is pretty good to see that. And honestly, this is gonna be let me just pull up Dr. Voodoo here just for you guys to see on his own. But yeah, very impressive health and damage and armor stats. I started to call him Brother Voodoo. I forgot they have him as Dr. Voodoo in here. It's weird. They're doing some weird naming things with these characters for this team. And then his passive, I'm not gonna really Hungan Supreme. Someone will have to tell me how to pronounce that. 5% bonus speed for each stack of death proof up to a max of 25%. When his character drops below 50% max health, gain 1 death proof up to a maximum of 5. And when any ally dies, gain 1 death proof up to a maximum of 5, plus apply offense up to self and all Dark Hunter allies. This, I really want to try this with Hela and Greg, because it says when any ally dies, not when any non-summon enemy dies or ally dies. So this is something where he's constantly possibly going to be giving a lot of offense up to your Dark Hunters and gain death proof and very quickly getting a 25% boost in his speed. And while 5 enemies have speed up, all allies gain 30% bonus crit chance and crit damage. On War Offense, on spawn, if this character has 3 or more Dark Hunter allies, generate 2 ability energy for 4 random Dark Hunter allies or self that were not at full energy. This is pretty much just to make sure that the ultimate from Morbius will enact that first turn, because it is a 5/7 energy cost. He gets his ability energy. He will get that ultimate first turn. He has 128 speed, so he's the fastest Dark Hunter on the team. So he will go first. He will chain down the line, apply that trauma, the heal block, all that nasty stuff. He will then go, and then the passive from Ghost Rider will come into play. So very high health and resistance here. We'll talk about the stats here a little bit more in a little bit. But yeah, ISO 8 healer on him. Very helpful with that, with the basic healing. And just kind of high health overall. With that heal will give a nice amount to the regeneration. Then we get to Elsa. Elsa got quite a bit of a boost, and we're going to talk about this again with the stats here in a little bit. This will take her in the top 10 in terms of damage. She is comparable to Dr. Doom in terms of damage. Her basic now hits for 75% piercing on the normal attack and bonus attacks, up from 45%, so significant damage boost there. Her special, Trick Shot, got a small boost in damage from 300% to 320%, and then the most injured enemy gets 370 instead of 350. Very small boost, not a big deal. Her ultimate, though, got a very nice boost here. 280% damage on the ultimate, plus 45% damage per supernatural or Dark Hunter ally. That is up from let me see here, let's see, here it is. Yeah, 250% base damage plus 25% per supernatural ally. So significant boost there, about 100% bonus increase in that, which is pretty good. Characters killed by this cannot be revived, and on War Offense, if this character has 3 or more Dark Hunter allies, this cannot be blocked. On her passive, all it is pretty much getting 20% bonus accuracy per supernatural or Dark Hunter ally. Just a little bit nice of a boost there, but just to make it so that she gets some synergy here with Dark Hunters in her passive. Ghost Rider did not get too much of a change here. Got some very nice stats. We'll talk about that some more here in a minute. His ultimate Penance Stare can no longer be blocked if he has charged. And on his passive, he now gives a speed bar for Dark Hunter allies as well. Dark Hunter allies gain that 40% bonus max health and goes from 40% or from 30% boosted focus to up to 40% now for him and Mystic allies. And then Baron Mordo got a very, very small stat boost here in his special, and this pretty nice stat boost, but his special, it's now a 75% chance to apply blind to additional targets instead of 50% chance. So, but now he has to have 4 or more Mystic allies for this to work. So, yeah, you know, it's okay. But yeah, Mordo does not have the Dark Hunter tag. They say he's pretty much just a placeholder on this team. I figure that down the road we'll be getting Blade. I hope it's Blade, but we'll have someone else kind of fill out this team and kind of make it work a little bit better, because right now this is very much tailored to counter, like, it's just tailored to counter heroes for hire. And especially when you go back and look at Morbius's kit here, all the way back up, it's all about city heroes. And really, if you take out Morbius when you're not fighting city heroes, then you lose a lot of synergy with the Dark Hunters. So this is one that, yeah, if you really want to get another Heroes for Hire counter, which this is going to be, this is one I think is going to be sold just on the basis of being a Heroes for Hire counter. At least a solid punch across, very likely will also be punching up. We'll see how that all works in the end, but yeah, in terms of stats, I'm going to throw it up here now for you guys to see. These characters got some significant stat boosts. Now, for example, Ghost Rider, 9th in terms of health. Brother Voodoo, or Dr. Voodoo, is 13th in terms of health. Morbius is 22nd. And then in damage, Ghost Rider is now 7th, close to Corvus. Morbius is at 13th, close to Icarus. But remember, we also get bonus piercing, and we get offense up, or more damage with Morbius in War. So that damage stat could very easily be top 10 with those boosts. And of course, number 10 for Elsa Bloodstone, very similar to Dr. Doom. In terms of armor, there's nothing too crazy here. I mean, 18th for armor with Brother Voodoo, tied with Silver Surfer. 29th for Ghost Rider and Morbius, tied with Cable and Magneto. And then Punisher levels of armor with both Elsa and Baron Mordo. Nothing too crazy there. Focus, number 6 now for Ghost Rider, tied with Cloak. And then 45th best focus for Dr. Voodoo and Elsa Bloodstone, close to Magneto. And 11th for Baron Mordo now in terms of focus, close to White Tiger. In terms of resistance, they're pretty much above average. 24th for Morbius, Brother Voodoo, and Elsa Bloodstone, tied with Polaris. 14th best resistance for Ghost Rider, now with Cersei. And 49th best resistance for Nick Fury, or for Baron Mordo, tied with Nick Fury. So, you know, pretty significant stat boost across the board. This is a very powerful team stat-wise, but a lot of this is going to be tied to fighting city heroes. So if you want to find another use for Dark Hunters or Sons of Midnight, Midnight Sons, whatever they're called, I can't keep their name. Ugh, that name is so weird. We'll be doing testing with these guys just to see what they do. Obviously, they're going to counter city heroes, so they're going to be great against Heroes for Hire. I do want to do some hybrid testing against Young Avengers. I think there could be a hybrid team with some other characters here where you could find another counter for Young Avengers that doesn't involve just Weapon X. We'll try to figure that all out, but that's going to wrap it up for me here, guys. I want to hear from you all. What do you guys think of these characters? Do you like this? Are you a little worried about how this is tied to just countering heroes for hire? Let me know down below, but as always, if you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.